Hey, what's up everybody? Vincent B coming back at you with another cryptocurrency video. Welcome back. We're going to talk about some gunbotting tonight. I've been real busy today, so I'm coming with a late video for you. I promised I'd get on though and answer some of your questions. I just been overwhelmed with everybody interested in the Gunbot, which is very cool. Glad everybody is interested, and it's exciting knowing that got a bunch of people that are interested in signing up and joining my team to gunbots us some money here. Alright, so let's get into it. I wanted to before I get into the question, I just wanted to point out that Quantum here, or QTOM, and Neo, and even OMG, let's zoom out a little bit. These look like they could be some bull flags. Maybe not so much on OMG, but I'm still just as bullish on it. Let's see where the moving average is. Yeah, see, it's right on the moving average, which is a positive sign, I believe. Let's zoom out a little bit more to 1 day. Yeah, see how that looks like a flag? If I could draw lines. Can I draw lines? I've never really tried. Yeah, maybe. No. Line. Okay, we'll have to get another chart to draw lines. I've never really tried to draw them on here. I just thought to try. But anyways, I think there's I think we got bull flags here, and being that Bitcoin was like shooting up, and I was like, oh, I thought for sure it wouldn't quite make a higher high. I wasn't really sure, but then it did, and I was like, oh no, don't tell me it's gonna just moon like it did before, just keep going. But it came back down. Let's go ahead and see what it is on Coinbase here. I like because you can switch real quick from the hour to the day. You can see today we had quite a run up, and if we look at it on the week, we are up higher than last week. What is it there? 4339. 431.8, so a little bit higher high. We didn't quite break this high, but pretty close. So if we keep going back down now, see the hourly is dropping off pretty quick, so we're headed back down. And what I see it doing is kind of making a little bump and then heading down some more. And kind of see how it came down, and it's gonna go back around like this. Do I got my drawing thing up? Let me pull up my drawing program. So if it's gonna now be sloping down, everybody that wasn't sure if it was gonna go up is sitting on the fence is now gonna jump into the altcoins to ride the altcoins up, you know. So as the Bitcoin goes down, the altcoins are going to go up, but then I think Bitcoin will probably do a higher low and then come back up for another higher high, is what it looks like it might possibly do. I could be wrong, but being that we've had a higher high and I believe a higher low, that means that we're trending upwards. So, you know, for the short term we're going down, so it'll be good for the alts, really good for the alts. So I'm going to go ahead and set let me open one of the charts from yesterday. Let's take a look back at just in case this breaks out while I'm doing the video. I don't think it will. I think it's going to consolidate a little bit more. and it's just coiling up. It's getting you know, we had big volatility, and it's getting smaller and smaller, coiling up, and then it could really either shoot up or shoot down. But being Bitcoin's going down, I think it's going to shoot up. So for some reason I'm especially feeling bullish with Quantum. It's got a real just massive green candle there. See the bot buying and selling there. So the bot's cranking away. I hope that this video comes out alright. It seems like it's running smoothly. Let's go ahead and add up what I made in the bot. Now I had to shut a couple off. I have Lisk written down as something that whenever I shut one down, I write down what it made so that I can keep it in my total, so I know how much I'm making every day. I believe that, well, I know that Lunar, I had a real good gain on Lunar. I believe it was 11%, but then it continued to moon up. It mooned up like another 20%, and I rode that up. But the bot was selling because it was past that 11%, and even though I cranked it up to like 30%, it still was set on selling. So I had to shut Lunar down so that I could then buy and ride up, and the bot just kept wanting to sell because that's what I told it to do. So I also had a really amazing sell on Vertcoin, VTC, and I was saying how Vertcoin was going to take off back here. I was telling my friend Nick how the Vertcoin was about to take off, and I was kind of expecting it to go back up. It still could pull up here, but anyways, they're doing the atomic swaps with it, and there's gonna be big things coming for Vertcoin, and also Lisk and Litecoin. Lisk because they're rebranding, and I believe that's in early September. I'll have to check on the exact date, but it's coming fast, so you might want to get in and get some Lisk. Had a nice run up today. I actually had a 30%. When I first heard about the branding, I cranked my gain up to 30% and put 0.05 in Lisk. I wish I would have put more, but I got 30% on 0.05, and that's the kind of thing you can do with this bot. You can crank your gain up and then just wait for the magic to happen. You don't really gotta sit and watch the chart or try to you know, put in your order to the bot. You just put in your percentage and the bot will take care of it. So also with the Vertcoin, it was a 0.05 for was it 11%? I think I changed it, so I can't go and look. I had it up pretty high. I probably could have got a little bit higher, but yeah, I turned it up higher now, but pretty sure I got 11%, and I think it hit about 13, but 11 was cool with me. I'll show you right where it sold at. We can go and look at the log. In case someone doesn't believe me, I'll show you where it sold. And it's right in there, the profits, 0.02. You know, and I'm only working with about 3,300, but keep in mind I'm manually trading OMG, and yeah, I guess just OMG, pretty much Lisk and, well, Neo too, but Lisk and Litecoin I have gains cranked way up, but I did do a sell on did do a sell on Vertcoin and then Lisk, but Lisk, was that today? Yeah, that was today. I did a sell on Lisk. What was my So on list, sorry, I'm going all over the place here, trying to think of all different sells I had. Pretty good day today. I added it up real quick earlier. I think it was 120, but we can add it up again here. What was I gonna look at now? It's been a long day. List, right? I might have shut it down since then. Yeah, I did too, because it was in alphabetical order, and that's why I have it wrote down. Okay. Yeah, I don't even have it running right now, because I was just mainly trading this. So I guess we can count list because I did write it down. It's only 0.0026, and then 3,300. You'd have to subtract 0.07 worth of ohms go. So be 0.68. That's how much I'm really working with. So really only 2,700, but whatever. 2,700, 3,300, about 3,000. Let's add it up real quick, and then we'll get into questions. For the most part, a lot of these haven't really been selling anything. Things have kind of just been going sideways, so you're not always going to have spectacular days, but I want to get it on video where I'm at now, because I think tomorrow is going to be a really good day if Bitcoin continues to go down. Plus, what's tomorrow? Oh, tomorrow's Friday. Oh, that might throw a monkey wrench into things. Fridays tend to be sell-off days, so maybe it won't be a great day. We'll see. Looks like bull flags on a lot of these coins, and they haven't really been doing anything, so I think we're due. You know, sometimes you can't always just say that, you know, it's Friday or it's Sunday or it's Monday and say for sure what is going to happen with this market, because it's so unpredictable. If any of you guys are new and think you got it figured out, you don't. And I want to say also that the reason that I'm doing so good isn't just because of the bots. So just because I had $400 days off of $3,000 doesn't mean that you can just get the bot. And even if you had my config files, a lot of people want me to share their config files. There's several problems with that. One is I'm constantly changing them. You have to be able to adapt to them. I can't just give you a config file. Somebody offered to pay me for config file updates, and you know, I thought about it, maybe in the future, but right now I just got way too much going on, and really you guys need to learn how to do this yourselves. You know, I'm not trying to be rude, I'm just trying to help you guys. You know, if you could teach a man to fish, it's way better than giving him a fish. You know, so that's what I want to do with my channel. I want to teach you guys how to do with what I'm doing. And really, you need to learn how to trade. You know, you need to learn technical analysis. And you need to start small if you're new to trading. Don't jump into this and think you're gonna make a bunch of money, because it's very, very hard. And it takes a long time. You have to understand that, you know, I'm not even that good, and I've been doing this for 8 months every day, like minimum 8 hours a day. A lot of times I'll be on these charts like 12 hours. I like live in these charts, and all I do is study the tech and study the charts, and you know, watch and read everything I can. Oh no, I messed up. Alright, I think I can fix this. The last one was 937. Oh crap. Alright, let me just start over. I'm starting to lag too. I hope this doesn't screw the video up. I'm not going to be drawing today. Maybe tomorrow. I'll shut some of these pairs down. So, if you want to learn how to trade, I recommend the Wyckoff school. I'll leave a link below. It is not free, but it is worth it. And it's more than just the class. They have a really good thing going on over there. Community of people and great instructors, so highly recommend that, especially if you're new, even if you're not new, but especially if you're new, you really need to learn the basics, and I'm going to do my best to teach you what I know, but I only know so much right now. I'm learning every day, but this isn't something you just pick up in 6 months or a year, even if you're doing it every day, all day. Also, there is quite the learning curve to the bot as well. You know, if you don't know how to trade and you're going to be trying to learn that, plus how to work the bot, so, you know, please start small. Only run a couple pairs. Don't try to do this, what I'm doing here. Okay, start small, run a couple coins, and you can turn down how much you want to trade with here. I recommend you turn this down to like 0.1, 0.05 something until you get the hang of it. Before, I mean, unless you got the flow, the capital to have, you know, a lot tied up for a while, because the bot will accumulate bot bags. You know, especially if you don't really know how to work it, it's real easy to accumulate a lot of bags, and you just have to sit on them. You don't lose money until you actually sell at a loss. You know, so don't think, oh, you know, I bought $100 worth and now it's only worth $50. I'm gonna sell it and I lost $50 and I'm just gonna sell it and just hold Bitcoin or something. Don't, you know, just hold on, just hodl. You gotta learn to hodl. It's a lifestyle. Okay. A lot of times, you know, the best thing to do is just hodl. There's some people that's their whole strategy, and they could make a lot more than people trying to trade if you don't know what you're doing. Somebody could just simply buy some coins and walk away for a couple weeks, and they're gonna have much better gains than you working all day long trading this for that. You know, because you gotta figure you're paying fees every time you trade, And it's a lot of complex things going on. The price of Bitcoin's fluctuating. You know, the coin prices are fluctuating, and sometimes you might think you're making money, or think you're making good moves, and you're not. You know, so if you're new, you really got to take it easy. And with the bot, there's a big learning curve. It could take a little while for your key to get activated. When you first fire it up, you might see some errors. I know I did. You know, don't worry about that. If you're seeing some errors by a very small amount, and then the bot will get some data in, and then could start figuring out where the lines are, because it works on Bollinger Bands, and the bot doesn't know exactly where the bands are. It has to calculate that. Okay, that's what this moving average is here, is how it calculates it. Your moving average is your prices going back, in this case 455 places. Okay, and then we're going to get into the bands in a second. Just to show you right here, it's been a bad, not bad, but it hasn't been a very good 24 hours, but I've still made 0.03 off of around 3,000, really 2,700, but so I believe that's about 5%, $120. It's actually 0.03473, should be 139. So how do you find the percentage? You take what you made divided by what you have, what you're working with. 5%, yeah. Right? Pretty sure that's 5%. So not too bad. Alright, so my system does work. Let me try to explain it for you. Alright, let me try to use a different tool. Thank you to everybody for your support and your words of encouragement. Everybody telling me it's a good video. I know it's not the greatest video. The bot is causing lag, and I'm having trouble with these drawing tools, but just bear with me. Thanks for the encouragement, though. You guys motivate me to want to keep making videos and keep trying to show you how I'm making this money here. I want us all to, I want us all to come up. There's no reason why we can't all work together and make money together, help each other out, like a team, and then if you guys spot something like a bull flag somewhere, or you hear about a coin that's gonna take off, we're gonna have to set up a forum. We're gonna have a Telegram and a Discord and a forum where we can communicate and share different strategies and techniques and what pairs have worked for different situations. So let Let me try to explain the basics here. I'm new to this program, so let me find the line tool. Wow, there's so many tools. Which one's the line? Just need a basic line here. Might have to go back to the pencil for now, and then next time I'll be prepared. I'll find the line. I thought it would be easy. There's so much to this program. Alright, we'll just go with the pencil then for now. And then next time I'll prepare some charts for tomorrow, and I'll have like arrows and numbers and everything drawn out. Maybe I'll just borrow Nick's. Oh, what is this? Let me pause the video and I'll get the right tool. The more complex program would give me more options, but it just made things more confusing. So this is your Bollinger Bands here, right? You have your top band, which is where you sell, and your bottom band is where you buy. Okay, now that on the bot is right here. Here's your bottom band and here's your top band. Okay, now this number is a percentage in from your top to the middle line. So from here to here is 100%. Okay, and then from here to here is 100%. Alright, so if you set your bottom band to 25, it's going to be like this. Alright, so it would buy like right here. Now you see it actually got a lot closer, so you might want to set it to maybe 5%, but you're not going to hit very often at 5% because it's not exact. The bot doesn't know exactly where these lines are because the exchange doesn't share that information. It just has to kind of estimate where they are. So you want to have it a little bit higher to make sure that you get the sale. So, you know, but that's up to you. You can also set it at a negative integer, but you're going to very rarely buy. So that would be negative on your bottom band and negative on your top band. And negative top band would only sell when you moon. Okay. And then I imagine you could also do more than 100%. You know, if you wanted to buy when it was bull rampaging up, you could probably set it for 120 or something, and it would buy all the time pretty much. Or at 200 it would buy all the time. But even at 120 it would be buying a lot. And you know, you can experiment and find out what works for you. The default settings are 25. So now when it's when you're below your 200 day, which is what this is here, and you can pull that up over here by going to studies, moving average, 200 day. Okay, now that's basically your average of where the price is. So it's going to fluctuate around this line. So that kind of can give you an idea of where it's going to go. If it's above the 200 day, then most likely it's going to drop down below the 200 day. So if you're adding your pair, or if you're adjusting your pair when it's below the 200 day, you can expect that it's going to be going upward fairly soon, depending on how long it's been under there. And if you're above the 200 day, then you can assume that it's going to be downward fairly soon, depending on how long it's been above the 200 day. So if you just, if you just went up above it, it could also hug it you kind of have to just study the coin and see what it's been doing. And there's other, you could also use, I believe your 20-day is pretty much your Bollinger Band. Is this middle line here? Let's go ahead and find out. Wait. It's money flow index. Did I click the wrong thing? Yeah, sorry. Moving average. I believe your 20-day. Let's do that in I don't know, purple. So it sticks out above the black. Alright, now you see how that hugs your middle Bollinger Band line? So that's your 20-day. Alright. Now if you go to, let's say, 11-day, here's an interesting way to look at it. Look at it as a family where you have 11-year-old, a 20-year-old, and a 200-year-old. And this analogy came from BK, Brandon Kelly, I believe his name is, on YouTube. So shout out to him. I didn't come up with this myself, but it's a great analogy. Your 11-day is like 11-year-old running around like a maniac, like a little kid. Alright, so you see how it runs up above the 20-day, and the 20-year-old, he's kind of like, he likes to play too, but he's a little bit older, and he's just kind of keeping an eye on the 11-year-old. And meanwhile, like the 200 might be a little too old, but if this was like a 77-day, is like the old man. So he's in his golden oldies. Alright, he kind of just lays back on the porch in his rocking chair. Alright, so he's kind of sitting back, and the kids are always going to come back into the house where grandpa's at. But meanwhile, the 11-year-old, he's going to run out. You could also use a 7. Can't remember what I used, 7, 11, whatever. The little kid's running around. The 20-year-old, he's kind of sitting back, keeping an eye on the kid. And grandpa, he don't give enough. He's sitting back, letting the trade come to him. Alright, so you can kind of see where it's going by what the young one's doing. Alright, when you see the 11-year-old break out, like right here, when you start to see that 11 diverge up off of your 77 and 22, right here, when you see that split, now it's the same thing from the MACD. I tend to just use the MACD, and that's we'll get into that in another video. But basically, when you see the younger line break away from the other ones, you know that it's a breakout. It's going to take off. Alright, so the 21 is where it's going to go right around it. It's going to go below it and above it, and 11 is going to run up and down and all over the place. But when you see it cross over, then you know you're going to be coming back down. And then you know about where it's going to go by looking at the 77, in the short term. The long term is the 200. Okay, so that's kind of how you know where your coin's going to do. And then, like I said, you then adjust your Bollinger Band accordingly. Okay. So if this is your 20-day, so if your 7 is going down here, then you know it's going down, and you want to set your bands. You want your bands small. You want this low, you want your low band real low, because if not, it's going to be buying a lot. And if you're going down, you don't want to be buying all the way down. You only want to buy when it totally bottoms out. So that's a good time to keep your bottom band really low. Alright. Maybe I'll do that in the morning as I'm drinking coffee, but we're already 30 minutes in. I don't want to do another hour video tonight. I doubt you want to sit and watch hour videos every night either. So if you're seeing it take off upwards, okay, for example, if you're already under the 200 day and your 10 day breaks out, then you know you're going to be heading up. So you can go ahead and lower your high band so that you sell nice and high. Okay, if you have a real high band, it's going to sell more frequently. So, you know, it's up to you where you want to put it, but I tend to keep my high band pretty high and just go for the gains. Now, if you're below the 200 day and you're breaking out and you're something like Neo, you're a coin that has a lot of volume. Now, your volume's right here. These bars here. You can also see with the MACD, and the MACD will show a little bit more, but if you have a lot of volume and you're taking off and you're a coin that's performing good, then you might want to go ahead and turn your gains up higher. Okay, with Neo, I've been known to hit 20 some percent gains with Neo. And you know, I've made like $100 trades with, you know, 0.09. I forget exactly what it was, but it was something like that, 0.1, 0.9, and I was getting like $100 trades. What did I make earlier? I can't even remember now. I think I said earlier what I made off of Vert. Wasn't it $70? I think I made a $70 in one trade earlier by having 11% gain set, because I knew Vert was going to take off. And you know, once you learn technical analysis, you're able to figure this out. If you just get the bot, and you know, you could set your generic settings and you're gonna hit, you know, 1-2% depending on what the market's doing. But if you know technical analysis and you can adjust the bot on the fly, and then manual trade a couple too, you know, and then the bot allows you to cover, you know, 20 different coins at once you get used to it. You know, don't start out with 20-30 coins, because you're gonna go crazy trying to keep track of them all. You know, I've been doing this for a while, so I know, you know, I understand all these coins and how they perform, and I'm not worried about holding bags. That's just part of the game. You know, sometimes you just gotta wait, but the longer you wait, the bigger gain you're gonna have. And then every day that they don't make a sale, I tend to take my gain up another percentage. I think that's it. We'll get into some questions tomorrow. Somebody asked, what if there's a blackout? There's not much you can do, you know. I'll get into these tomorrow. I gave some pretty in-depth answers to these questions, and I'll go ahead and get into that tomorrow because it's already getting late. Do I leave my PC running at night? Yes, I tend to. I'll shut some pairs off at night. How can you allocate the quantity of USD for each pair in the bot? Again, that's right here. Max balance of trade. Now, sometimes it'll buy several times that amount, so you might want to put a little bit less than what you want for your max, but not always. That's only if it's dumping. And you might want to read Gunther's post on how I run it. If you look up Gunbot, how I run it, it'll come up and he'll tell you how to pick a good pair. And hope this video came out alright. I hope you found it helpful, and if you would like to buy the Gunbot, it would help me support this channel, so I would appreciate it. And also, if you'd like to sign up for the Wyckoff crypto trading course and take that with me, there will be a link for that down below as well. And if this video didn't come out good, then tomorrow I'll shut down some pairs before I run it so that the quality is better. And then I'll do some more in-depth drawing on how I determine where to set the bands. You really don't have to get all into it and get that complicated with it. You could just put your bands on 25 and 25 and your gain on 2 and your max balance of trade on 0.02. You don't have to copy these settings, but these are what works for me, and as I've shown day after day, they work quite well. But that's because I'm sitting here all day, I'm studying these charts, I'm running technical analysis. Your coin market cap is like your Bible, and you want to look at these graphs and how they're performing. You want to find something that's real jaggedy, like this NEO. IOTA you can't get on Bittrex, it's only on Bitfinex, but BitShares, I haven't really had much luck with BitShares. It looks good, but I think it's low volume right now, but it's only a matter of time before that changes. You want to look for something that really hasn't been doing much for a while, because that's something that's about to be taken off most likely. It actually looks like the whole market's taken off. So, Factum, I was running it and I just shut it down. So you can't get them all. I try to chase them all. But just pick a couple that you like and you don't mind holding on to, and you'll do good. 120 bucks off of 3 grand is not bad. If you would have put that into Bitconnect, what would you have got? Like 30 bucks, I think. They pay about 1%, so 1% of 100 is $1. So 1,000 would be $10, so 3,000 would be about 30 bucks. So I'm getting about 4 times what you would get from Bitconnect. So it's a little bit more work. You could probably get what Bitconnect's pretty easy just by using the generic default settings, but it's probably not going to be every day. It's going to depend on what the market's doing. But we're getting out of a long dry spell in crypto. Usually the summers are slow, and I think it's really going to take off here as we go into the fall and into the winter. So it's a good time to be getting a bot. Keep in mind that there are a limited amount of licenses for each exchange, I believe. So if you're kind of sitting on the fence and you're kind of just going to think about it for a couple months, that might not be a good idea, because it might not be here in a couple months, it might not be here in a couple weeks, it might not be here in a couple days. I'm not really even sure. So you might want to hurry up and secure you a license, even if you're not ready to get into it. and it wouldn't hurt to run, you know, 1 pair or 2 pairs. You don't have to do 30-35 pairs like I'm doing. That's really too much. It's gonna slow your computer down, and it's if you don't have the capital to spare, then it's going to stress you out, you know. So, you know, only trade with what you can afford to lose. Not that you really will lose it, but it could get tied up for a while. The bot is programmed not to lose money. It will only sell at a percentage gain to where it bought it at, and that's what this is here. Oh, I have these down low. Let me turn these up. I had them lower when Bitcoin was going up, and I kind of wanted it just to sell, just in case Bitcoin kept going. You see I have quantum cranked way up at 21%. That's because I expect it to moon, probably not overnight, but it might. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. These are my top picks here. So, the other settings, this is what calculates your Bollinger Bands here. The default's 330. I turned mine up a little to try to get a little bit more accurate Bollinger Bands. That might eat up more memory though. Here's your time delay. The more pairs you run, you want to have this more towards 30 or more. If you're running a lot of pairs, you could turn it down if you're only running a couple to maybe 15 or 20. I wouldn't go much lower than that. But turn these back up now. That's what I do if I don't want it to buy. I'll set my low band down to like 0. And you could even set negative numbers if you want to. So I might turn some of these back up. But I think that's it. Your security margin, be careful setting that too low, especially if your bottom band is high, because what'll happen is it'll sell and then rebuy, and it might do that several times, and it could lose you some money that way. So make sure if your security margin is low, your bottom band is also low. And I think that's everything. So yeah, we're trucking right along. I like to write down where my account balance is so I know if I'm gaining or losing. You also want to write down your Satoshi balance. You really don't want to look at the USD because the price of Bitcoin will fluctuate and it'll throw you off. So it's better to look at your Satoshi value to know if the bot is making you Satoshi or not. And I think that's it. Any questions, you guys go ahead and leave them below. And give me a like if you want to see some more videos like this. Subscribe and hit the bell if you want to be notified when I do a video. And I think that's it. You guys have a good night. I will be talking to you again here soon. And good luck trading. I'm out.